Hi guys, welcome back. First of all, you'll need some translucent polymer clay. I'm using translucent Sculpey Primo, and I'll just start off by saying that a little goes a long way. With the amount I'm cutting off here, I ended up making 50 beads, so just keep that in mind. Next, you'll need a range of coloured fine glitter. I've chosen pink, purple, blue, green, black, silver and white. Squidge the first piece of clay around in your hands until it's nice and soft, then make a little dent in it. Add some glitter into the middle. I'm starting with pink, and then fold the clay around it so it all gets mixed in nice and evenly. Repeat these steps a few times and you'll see that the clay now looks really pink. Then you can move on to the next colour, which for me is this nice turquoise green. This one is pretty old and it had all stuck together, so I'm dipping the clay into the little pot and mixing it in that way. And if any glitter falls onto the table, you can just use the clay to pick it up, so it's quite sticky when it's soft. And next up is purple, with the same method as the first one. Once the glitter's folded in and squidged around, I like to keep flattening the clay out and folding it over, and this just makes sure it's all mixed in evenly. And then we've got black, silver, white and blue. For the silver and white pieces, I also have some chunkier glitter as well, which I'm mixing in at a rate of 3 parts fine, 1 part chunky. Now all the colours are ready, we can start making the beads. Cut off a small piece of each colour and roll them into long worm shapes, and then we're going to twist them all together and start marbling them. Keep rolling it out and twisting it together again until you've got some nice swirls of the different colours. Be careful not to mix them so much that they start to get muddy though, we don't want them to completely blur together. Cut off a small piece from the end to make your first bead, mix it a bit more until you're happy with it, then roll it into a ball shape and the first one is finished. Personally, I like to make all the beads first while the clay is still soft, and then I add all the holes at the end. I just find it more convenient that way. And of course, I don't want them all to look exactly the same. For this first set I've chosen to use all the colours, but for the next few beads I'm just going to use pink, purple and white, and I'll try and vary the colours every so often. I actually learned this technique from Creative Rachy's tutorial about Galaxy polymer clay. I will add a link in the description, so please check out her video as well if you're struggling to understand anything. She probably explains it a lot better than I do. For these next few beads I'm using the pink and purple clay again, but with black instead this time. And here I am realising that I haven't even properly shown you what they look like when they're all marbled, but hopefully you managed to get the gist of it until now. The colours still look a bit dull before they're baked, but afterwards the translucent effect really comes through and they look so beautiful and vibrant. I'm using white, green, blue, silver and black for these next ones, and remember that you can vary the size of the beads as well. They don't all have to be perfectly uniform. You can see I've made some smaller ones as well as some bigger ones. This one here is more of a longer oval shape. It's completely up to you. Another thing I'm doing here is adding more colours into clay that's already marbled. If you're not happy with how the mixture looks, you can always add more colours instead of starting over from scratch. And you can see that I'm adding some more black, green and blue to this one. For a bit of variety, I'll also make some beads from just one colour, although the translucent effect won't be as obvious. I've got some pink ones and some black ones dotted about, and I'll make some with the silver and white clay I've got left over as well. And now all the beads are finally finished, it's time to add the holes. I'm doing this with the disposable straw because I'm not really going to drink through it after it's finished. What I'm doing is poking a hole through the middle, essentially like a really small cookie cutter. Then I'm taking a thinner straw and using that to poke out the clay from the middle. At the end I'll mix up this leftover clay and use it to make a couple more beads. When I've finished making the holes, I'll bake all the beads together on a flat metal baking tray on top of some greaseproof paper. Always make sure you follow the manufacturer's instructions on the packet, so I'll put these in the oven for half an hour, and then once they've cooled down I'll paint them with Sculpey gloss to make them look extra shiny. Keep watching if you want to see how they turn out. And here's how they ended up. I am absolutely in love. If you want to see what they look like in my dreads, check out my previous video, which I will also link in the description. Thank you again to Creative Rachy for the tutorial. It's such an easy technique to learn and they always turn out looking really cool. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching. Let me know how it goes if you decide to make any beads like these. See you in the next one.